Hey guys, welcome back to another episode 7 of the video editing course. I hope you guys are enjoying this course. If you are, then please go ahead, leave a like on this video and subscribe to the channel. But I don't know if you guys have heard the news, but Filmora 14 is out, and it's kind of unusual because I've already started making this video editing course for Filmora 13, but there are some features in Filmora 14 which aren't on Filmora 13, so apologies if you can't find a particular feature. But in other ways, in this video I'm going to be teaching you guys sound effects, how to add sound effects, and also the two types of background musics that I like to use in my own video. And I'll also be showing you another transition which I didn't show you in the last episode, but there is a sound effect for that transition as well. So yeah, let's get straight into it. So we're back into Filmora 13, the video editing software, and in this video, again, I'm saying it again, I'm going to teach you guys how to add sound effects in your videos and possibly a bit of light music as well. In the previous video, I did talk about transitions and what types of transitions I use in my videos. And so in this video, I'm going to collaborate those transitions into the sound effects that I'm about to use in this video as well. Last video, if you remember, I talked about first dissolve, that transition, then the fast wipe or fast swipe as I like to call it, and lastly the glitches. Okay, now for dissolve, you don't actually need a sound effect because it's already a very light transition and there's no possible sound effect for that transition. So you can literally just have dissolve on its own, okay, just like that, and it'll curate something very normal in a video. So you don't really need a sound effect for that. I will tell you another transition which you can use with another sound effect, so make sure to stay tuned for that towards the end of the video. But let's go towards fast wipe or fast swipe, and let me just adjust it again. Okay, so let me just show you guys what the transition actually looks like if you didn't watch the previous video. So kind of quickly moving into the next scene. In terms of the transition, we want something very similar that, creates fast moving video. Okay, so I'm going to go to audio and we're going to go, because I already have this downloaded, but if you want, you can go to audio and then sound effects. And then you can go and click on whoosh. And whoosh, you'll find this first one at the very top called cartoon whoosh. And that is what I use when I'm, putting fast wipes in between clips. So I'll just drag this down here. Okay, and now, of course, you'll have to adjust it, otherwise it won't sound very nice. So adjust it, make sure it's not towards the end of the transition or the beginning. You want to make sure that the peak of the sound effect is at the very start. Okay, and we'll just replay this and we'll see how it sounds. Do you guys hear that? That is the sound of when transitions plus sound effects meet together, and it's a very good sound effect as well. So of course, if someone's, let's say, listening to a video in a car, or maybe not even watching the video but just listening to it, they won't know what happens if you don't put the sound effect in your video. But if I do and I replay it again, we already know that we changed clips, we switched into a different scene. And this is always a great way of keeping the video going, making sure that the viewer's retention is always on towards the video. Of course, like any sound effect, you can adjust the volume, the sound balance. Of course, you don't really need to touch that. Fade in, fade outs, which is kind of self-explanatory. Pitch, I wouldn't really touch pitch at all in terms of sound effects. That's only if you want, let's say, a chipmunk sound in your voice, or very deep voice in your videos. But that's only for comedy purposes. Now, audio ducking, if you look onto the right side, that's when, let's say, you have background music, and then once you start talking, you don't want the background music overpowering your own voice. So what audio ducking is that once you enable it, the sound or the volume of the background music decreases, and as soon as you start talking. Other than that, because this is a sound effect and you don't really need to do any editing on this, you can just put it into the timeline and adjust the settings and adjust the length of it. But that's the sound effect, the cartoon whoosh, for the fast swipe. and I'll show you the sound effect that I use for glitches. Okay, so I have the glitch transition here, and I also again have this this sound effect downloaded. But if you want to download it, you go to, of course, audio, sound effects, and then you go to glitches or glitch. Okay, and then you download, and then you find something called digital wreckage, hopefully. And so you just download that and you can just drag it down here. And of course, this is a very long sound effect, so I'm just going to shorten this up a bit. And this is a very loud sound effect as well, so I'd recommend that you guys decrease the volume of it. So that should be good, and let's just hear that. So of course, once you have glitches and the glitch sound effect as well, it sounds much more better. Without the sound effect, it doesn't really match the whole video as much. And so again, another way of keeping the viewer watching your video. And same thing, same as always, you don't really need to do much editing on this as well. Now here is another transition that I like to use but haven't used it much, and I did not mention it in the last video, but if you want, you can also use this. But it's kind of like a very overpowered transition, and the sound effect for this is also not bad as well. So this is called fire transition, I guess you could say. So kind of like shoots out flame spark flames, whatever you want to call it, into your video, and then transitioning to the next clip. So for audio, I would like there's only one type of audio for this, and that's called a fire flame fireball whoosh. Okay, so you'll most likely find that in the whooshes, or you'll possibly find that in transitions maybe, but most likely the whooshes. So if I just go back here, so it's kind of close to any other whoosh, but of course it has that fire element in it. So let me just adjust this, adjust the volume. It's quite loud as well. So normal, I guess, brings that fire perspective into the video itself, but again, it just works as like any other normal whoosh would. And so there's many different types of whooshes that you can use. It doesn't have to be a certain type, because all whooshes have the same properties, have the same purpose of in a video. But yeah, that was sound effects. Now I'm going to show you guys different types of background sounds that you can use, not for short form, but like long form, let's say talking head videos. In terms of background music, I have two favorites which I use in my long form videos. And the first one is relaxing lo-fi. So if you go to audio and you go to music down here and you go to lo-fi, you find it somewhere in here. I don't know where, you just have to look for it. But it's called relaxing lo-fi day. And if I just drag and drop that down here, okay. And this is what I use, of course, when I'm just explaining a concept or just in any regular long form video. So this is basically what it sounds. So this is what it sounds like. So very lo-fi, very ambient in some sort of cases. But yeah, this, you can literally use this in any single video. Doesn't have to be a particular type of video. So that's the lo-fi one. And the other one that I like to use, so the second type of music that I like to use in my videos, this is for long form as well, is this one called Glory of War AI music. And this brings in a sort of suspense type of element to your video. It's a fast-paced soundtrack, so it's best when you're explaining something very important, or you want to get the viewer understand what type of point you're trying to make in the video. So I'll just show you guys what this sounds like, but it's probably one of the best musics that I've used in my long form videos. So as you can hear, hopefully, that it sounds, very, very fast paced, and it immediately brings the video into like a certain point where you have to, be attentive and understand what the creator is trying to say. But yeah, that was basically sound effects and music. I hope you guys really did enjoy this video. If you did, please give it a like, subscribe, share, and comment. I will have websites linked in the description down below for where you can find royalty-free music and sound effects. But other than that, if you guys still know anyone who's trying to learn video editing, then make sure you share this course with them. And I'll see you guys in the next episode. Peace.